Hello world, welcome to LTS. My name is Steve. Today I'll be discussing Disney's The Owl House. But before I begin, I ask that if you like this video and channel to please not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So, all that being said, here we go. Disney's The Owl House aired its first episode on the Disney Channel back on January 10th, 2020, and it ended a few months back on April 8th, 2023.
Oh no!
And the reason why I wanted to discuss this show is because it's a prime example of why parents, especially Christian parents, need to be aware of what their children are watching, especially when it comes to Disney, a company who in recent years have made it their duty to subjugate children to their woke and ungodly message.
Our leadership over there has been so welcoming to maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess all that momentum that I felt, that sense of I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss, let's in the background this I was just wherever I could just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of it. But I just was no one would stop me and no one was trying to stop me.
Stop it. Get some help.
But that being said, this show stars a girl who has no problem lying to her mother and is a part of the alphabet community. But the biggest cause for concern is that this show has elements that are straight up demonic.
Finally! I can learn how to summon the Dark Lord!
You don't find that suspicious?
And they tried to mask this fact with comedy. And I'll give this show its props. It's funny, but then again it has to be, because comedy disarms us. And if we're not careful, it can have us viewing unethical, immoral, and ungodly things as not being that big of a deal.
The whole thing was taken out of context. It was a joke.
But that being said, I'm going to be using the first episode to highlight my point. You see, in this first episode, we're introduced to Luz, a character that the audience is supposed to identify with due to the fact that she is a social outcast. And so during the course of the show, Luz stumbles upon a portal to a magical world where she then meets a rebellious witch and her pet, which brings us to the first major problem with this show. This pet is supposed to be an adorable animal, but we soon find out that this pet is described as a demon warrior. And this isn't something that I'm making up. Here's the clip straight from the show.
Let me explain. King was once a mighty king of demons, until his crown of power was stolen and he became this.
You mean this little bundle of joy?
But anyways, Luz is told by the witch that she can send her home just as long as she helps her with a mission. And what's the mission, you may ask? To get this demon pet his crown. And of course, later on in the show, we find out that the crown is meaningless.
That's messed up.
But we have to remember that Jesus is the King of Kings and is the only person who wears the crown. Later on in this very same episode, Luz runs into prisoners of the Confirmatorium.
Say what now?
I'm probably saying that wrong, but these prisoners were jailed just for being weirdos, like Luz, who likes to do things differently. And after seeing that the main character says,
"It's not fair that they're all in here. They just want to be themselves. Why does everyone think that being a weirdo is so bad?"
Now you may be wondering what's so bad about that statement, and I would first like to say that there isn't anything inherently wrong with being different, because we're not all going to be the same. The problem comes when you take this line of thinking outside the Word of God and then apply it to a sin clearly outlined in the Word of God as being a sin.
What's this world coming to?
You see, this kind of thinking easily leads to rebellion against our Creator and will have us saying things like,
"Now I'm living my truth and creating my bliss,"
when Jesus is the only way, the truth, and the life. And we clearly see this sentiment in this later scene when all the weirdos break out and Luz says,
So you have a different way of doing things, a different way of seeing things. That may make you weird, but it also makes you awesome, don't you see?
Why are you helping us?
Because us weirdos have to stick together. And Nobody should be punished for who they are.
You don't find that suspicious?
And more weird things happen during this episode that children shouldn't be seeing, like Luce ends up not going back home and actually lies to her mom about where she's at. Everything about this episode is designed to appear harmless, which is what the Bible talks about when it speaks about the devil in 2 Corinthians, where it says, "And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light." This goes to show that us parents, especially Christian parents, need to be vigilant in monitoring what our children watch, especially when it comes out of the house of mouse.
Keep an eye on them.
They're fundamentally coming for our children so that this message can be passed along to future generations. And if not monitored, these children will grow up and watch shows like The Little Demon, another show that just so happens to be coming out from Disney, but this is a much darker adult comedy show based on a girl who finds out that she's the Antichrist and that her father is the devil.
That's kind of scary.
You see, Disney obviously knows what they stand for, and so it's important that we Christians know what we stand for as well. And so with all that being said, we come to the end of another video. I release a new video every month, so I'll see you then. And before I forget, if you like this video and channel, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And so until next time, I pray God's blessing on you and that you always seek Him first.
Now I'm living my truth and creating my bliss.